Hey guys, what is up? It's your girl Shell here and welcome back to my channel. I'm not going to talk too much in this intro because I want to get into this hair, correct? Alright guys, I just want to give a big shout out to Julia here for working with me on this video. They contacted me, said they want to send you girls some hair. This is the hair that I chose. This is their Malaysian curly hair. I got a 24 inch, a 22 inch, a 20 inch, and a 20 inch frontal, lace frontal. So without further ado and me babbling with my skin looking super dry because I'm gonna go ahead and film a makeup tutorial, let's go ahead and get into this hair, okay?
Alright guys, so to get started, like I said, I am working with Julia here on this video. This is what the hair looked like when it first came. Of course, all individual bundles came into like their own little plastic bag. The hair came packaged very well along with the frontal, so I just wanted to give them a shout out for that because they did a good job with the packaging. That's what I'm going to use to be bleaching my the lace on the frontal. So I'm just going to use the quick blue dye with this 30 volume developer, and like I said, moving on from now on, I'm not going to use the 40 volume for the lace anymore. I'm going to use the 30 volume because it's a little bit less harsh, even though I feel like the 40 volume bleaches it to the color that I prefer. I'm just gonna manipulate the lace with my foundation because I really like it better that way, and it blends a lot better with my skin and looks a little bit more natural, if you guys know what I mean. So like I did in my last video, or like you guys have seen everyone do that bleach their lace on their closures or frontal, you just want to mix it to not too much of a watery consistency, and then just take your time, place the bleach on the lace, and then I think I left mine for maybe about 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and then I went ahead and rinsed it out. And this lace did not take as much as I wanted it to, and the bleach also went through the lace and got a little bit on the hair. Not crazy enough, but there were like spots of blonde in the roots, which I'm gonna go ahead and fix later on in the video. But I just left the bleach on the lace for about 20 to 25 minutes, went ahead and washed it out with some shampoo and conditioner, and I put it to dry. So what I actually did with this hair as well is just washed all the bundles, because I don't know, I just felt like just washing the hair to see how it performed, to see how the curls are, so that I know what I'm working with. And you guys, this hair is so soft, it's not even funny. This is the second time I'm getting curly hair. The first time I purchased it with my own money. This time this hair was sent to me, but I really love this hair. Like, oh my god, you guys are gonna be seeing it a lot in the future because this hair is freaking amazing. Okay, like when I tell you soft, it didn't have any smell or anything like that when it first came. I just really wanted to wash it, but it's so soft. It didn't have any shedding. I don't know, this curly hair is amazing. And then when I washed it, it kept the curl pattern. The curl patterns didn't go away. Sorry, my phone is like lighting up in the corner. I didn't even see that my phone was sitting right there. But I don't know, the curls was just, I love it. I love this hair so freaking much, it's not even funny. And look at the ends of the hair, you guys. As long as these bundles are, the ends are thick and full, and I love that. So you guys see the color of the lace, and this is actually an 18-inch frontal, not a 20-inch frontal. I don't know why I thought it was a 20. I said it in the intro, but it's actually an 18-inch frontal. So after the hair dry, I left it to dry for about 2 days. This is the curl pattern, kept the same exact curl pattern that it came with. The curls didn't dye or anything like that, and I did stretch the hair when I was trying to squeeze the water out. The hair kept the curls perfectly, so I didn't have to worry about the curls getting messed up. And these bundles are so full, it's crazy. So this is a cap that I use to make my wigs, and I love using this cap to make my wig. So this is the mesh dome cap. I actually ordered this pack from Amazon. So I do recommend that if you guys are looking for a cap, to use the mesh dome cap. And then these pins, I actually ordered them, and I ordered that mannequin head that you guys see right here. This is the best mannequin head to use when you're making wigs, because it fits the, like, if the cap fits on it perfectly, you can make it to whatever size you want. And this is perfect, you guys. Like, ever since I saw Peak Mill use this mannequin head, I was like, damn, I hate the foam mannequin head because it's so hard to work with. It's always going all over the place. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna invest in this mannequin head, and it's one of the best decisions I've ever made. So if you guys are getting into making wigs, I highly recommend this. And I'm so sorry you guys are seeing my whole vanity with all this mess, you guys, but I'm still working on my setup. So moving on in the future, my videos are gonna be a lot better. I didn't want you guys to see all this mess, but that's basically where I make my wigs. And yeah, I just wanted to sit down and do it there. So sorry you guys have to see all that mess, but you guys see what the video is all about, okay? All right, so you guys saw how I put on the frontal. When I'm putting it on, I basically pull down the front of the lace to where the cap stopped, maybe a little tingy bit further, not even a half an inch. And then I just pull the sides down, and that's where I place the pins. So putting on your lace, putting on your frontal, wherever you guys are putting it on, make sure that the back of the frontal is laid down from side to side, and then you just gather that lace in the front and hold it down. Don't try to like fit the lace exactly over the cap, because then when you put it on, the front is gonna be like, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but you gotta test it out and see how it works for you guys, because everyone have different head shapes. So what works for you might not work for me, and what worked for me might not work for you. So as you guys can see, I started in the center of the frontal and sewed down. So that's what I did. You could start from side to side, but I don't recommend it, because then one side might end up being hanging off the cap than the other side. So just start from the center and sew down to the right, and then sew down to the left, and you'll be perfect. So for the first track that I put on, this is the 22-inch bundle. I just started from one side and go to the other side, because that's how I like to sew my frontals. I just like to start directly where the frontal stop one side and go directly to the other side. So for this here, you guys, I was aiming to fit all three bundles on this cap, but I still had hair left over because the bundles are so full. Like, normally when you buy a 24-inch hair from a company, they don't give you that much hair. Like, my bundles were so thick, it's crazy how much hair they gave me with the 24-inch, the 22-inch, and the 20-inch. Like, it was a lot. So I am not doing anything special that you guys haven't seen before. When you're making your wigs, I just sew from side to side, flip the hair over, and continue sewing. I don't cut my tracks at all, because the more cut you put in the tracks is the more the hair is gonna shed. And I didn't want to seal the lace and all this stuff. I don't think anybody's sealing the lace nowadays. I'm over those days. So that's basically what I did for all the hair. Just flip it side to side and keep sewing. And I sew my wigs like a machine is sewing it. Like, I put 2 knots in the same place, put it through the needle in the middle of the thread, and like pull it through. So this is the only cut I did in throughout making the whole wig, because the hair, I just couldn't get it to fit. And I sewed my track so close, and I still couldn't fit all 3 bundles. So this hair is bomb, you guys. Like, it's so full and nice. Ugh, I love it. So like I said in the beginning, I'm gonna go ahead and use this dye right here from Revlon. It's a permanent dye, and I'm gonna use it to bleach the blondes that seam through the lace, because you don't want to walk outside and you're flipping your hair back and forth, or you want to put a side part or a middle part or some of just a regular part anywhere in the frontal, and your roots are blonde. Like, you can't be a black woman with black hair and your roots are blonde. It just doesn't exist. So I went in with a permanent dye instead of using a rinse because I'm going to be washing my wig all the time. I don't keep my wigs dirty. I love to wash them and my hair just feels fresh. So I went in with a permanent dye because eventually the color still might come off, but the permanent dye will last longer in the roots than a rinse. So that's why I went for the permanent dye. So after I dyed it, I went ahead and washed it out, then put it back on this foam cap because obviously I don't want to get my other wig head like full of black dye. So I put it back on the foam cap and then I went through the entire lace and just tweezed it because the hair was so full. I was like, that's gonna look unnatural on me. So I went through the whole entire lace and just tweezed it. Then I sprayed this coconut oil on the hair, this weightless coconut oil. I think from Oxyg. I think that's the brand. That's the amount of hair that I took out of the lace, you guys, and it is still full. Like, I feel like I could pull out some more. So before I put on my wigs, I always like to prep my scalp with some castor oil, and this thing is growing my hair so much. It's crazy. My hair was breaking so bad the other day, and I started using this castor oil, and girl, your hair is coming back. Your girl hair is coming back. Okay, the only thing I need to do is just strengthen my edges a little bit, but I do so many things to my hair. It's hard for my edges to come back. Like, I feel like old age and everything I do to my hair, it's just hard for anybody's edges to grow back. So you guys seen how I put on my wigs before. I like this way now because the wig lasts on your head a lot longer. So I like to put on a stocking cap first, some kind of a nude stocking cap, glue it down with the got to be glue, and then just cut around it to where you want it to stop. I normally like to take it a little bit farther back because when it's too much down on your face, it could tend to like take over your forehead. So I just like to take it all the way back to my hairline. And excuse my face looking dry. I just came out of the shower and I was gonna film a makeup tutorial after this, so I didn't want to start the process and not film it. So that's why my skin is dry, you guys. I don't normally have my skin dry, never, ever, ever, ever. So I just use my foundation over the stocking cap to get it to my skin tone, and then I went in and kind of cleaned it off. So here's the wig, you guys, and this wig is made so perfectly fitted to my head. It's insane, like insane. So as you guys can see, the lace just now, that it wasn't the color that I wanted after I bleached it. It still had that taupey gray undertone. So I had to put some powder on it, and then I'm gonna use the Ghost Bond glue for the very first time. I've never used this glue before, so it's very tricky, and I have a love-hate relationship with this glue. I still have my wig on, and it's probably now 3 days later, and normally when I use the got to be glue, when I take a shower, a hot shower, the moist in the shower lifts up my frontal. With this glue, it no move. When we say it no move, like the glue is still there, my closure is still intact. Even my nape areas, the area that's right above your ear, like right by your ear, it's always lifting up, and you guys, both ears is still stuck down. I just hated the process of using this glue because I've never used it before, so I don't really know how to use it. So I'm kind of like trying to use it the same way how I would use the got to be glue. So I put down a layer first, and then I put a second layer there, and when I started to cut off the lace, the muck that was at my hairline with this glue, it was insane, and it was so hard to clean off. I couldn't get it off. I was even trying to use the got to be glue spray to kind of like remove it, but still help me stick down the lace. It wasn't helping. It's something about this glue that I don't like. I don't know if I put on too much foundation too much powder on the lace. I don't know what I did, but whatever I did made it look extra nasty. Like, it took me a long time to clean my edges, and it still wasn't clean. Like, it still wasn't clean. But afterwards, you guys, when I went back and cleaned it up and it dried, it looked really nice. So I think if you're using the Ghost Bond glue for the first time, when you put your lace on top of it, I would say leave it for it to dry on its own, and don't try to like do anything to it, because I feel like when it dry on its own, then it does what it's supposed to do. So I'm so sorry if the video is going by so fast and I'm just chatting so much, but I just wanted to explain everything that I'm doing and not do it in like a 40-minute video. So after I laid the glue down and laid the lace down and used the blow dryer to blow dry it, and used the got to be glue on certain spots that, you know, wasn't down fully because I was cleaning it so much, I went ahead and just used a toothbrush, brushed out my edges, trimmed them up. Don't cut them like blunt, just trim them up, and then use the She Is Bomb collection goo, and I just went in and used that for my baby hair. This goo is amazing. Like, it's sticky, it's a sticky consistency, so a lot of people wouldn't like that when using it, but if you use this goo to lay your baby hairs, your baby ear them not move, your hairline will not look nasty, dry, crusty, flake. Like, this goo does not flake. It does not flake at all. Out of everything else that I use, this goo does not flake and your hairline does not move. Like, it's crazy how amazing this is, and it has a shine to it the next day. Like, no other edge control does that. I think the got to be glue in the black tube, that one is pretty too, but you know, after a while it could start to tend to look crazy. So there goes this hair, you guys. I got my hairline back to normal, my roots back to normal. Everything just looks beautiful. The hair is bouncy and long and full. My ends are not thin. Like, I just love this hair so freaking much. Like, I cannot thank Julia here enough for sending over this hair, because your girl is in love. Okay,
Yes. You guys, this hair is wet right now, but when it dries, it has these, like, oh my god, I can't even describe how beautiful the curl is when it's dry, and it's really, really big, which I wanted. So yeah, I love it. I love it so much. Thank you again so much, Julia, for working with me on this video. And without further ado, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.